All right, so let's get into some music loops here. And so the idea of looping is important to know for extending any musical material. So let's talk about how to make one. So I like to mark into a track. Just select into a track wherever you think it is. And I like to use down arrow as a mark in and up arrow as a mark out. And I'm just going to start this. Down arrow right there. And then up arrow. So I just did a 2-bar loop here just to show you. I got in the ballpark with down arrow, up arrow. And I have loop playback on here too. But it's still not perfect. So to make it perfect, we'd have to refine the selection. But if I click here, I lose my selection, of course, right? If I click anywhere, I lose my selection. So we need to be able to zoom in to both the front and the back and adjust the selection with shift select. So I'm going to make another selection again. Down arrow. So you can do this in time. 2, 3, 4, up arrow. Right? So now, so I'm going to zoom in now. I'm using T, and I'm going to hold on shift now and go right to that transient and zoom way, way in. Get it just perfect. Right where that kick drum transient comes in, you can see the waveform stop there. But now if I just zoom in and out, it goes to the head of the waveform, right? So I can get to the back of the waveform by right arrow, or Q and W does the same thing as left arrow, right arrow. Left arrow goes to the head, right arrow goes to the tail. Q goes to the head, W goes to the tail. And you can see it wants to really be right here. So the down arrow, up arrow will get you in the ballpark, and then shift select will get you to the perfect part of that. So it sounds like this. That's pretty good, right? And I can copy and paste that. And I could select an even longer loop. But that's the basics of selecting a loop for music. You have to be very aware of the beats. You have to be able to count the beats. You have to know where the downbeat is to make a correct loop. It's a very precise type of selection. Let's do it one more time. I'll do a 4-bar loop this time. 2, down arrow, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, up arrow. That got me in the ballpark. I'm going to zoom into the head of it and do shift select to adjust the transient, zoom way, way in, and get right on that transient at the 0 crossing. Go to the end of the file, and I think it's... Let me zoom out a little bit here. It could be right here. And then I have to play it back again to see. So it was a little off there. So I suspected that it's actually right here, I believe. And I'm going to zoom way, way in. So you kind of use this visual reference to differentiate the waveform. I think it's probably around right here, around that 0 crossing. I can keep on zooming in, shift select, and let me make sure I got that right now. That's pretty good. So then I could copy this over here. I could paste it. And then Command D will duplicate this loop. So it just plays. It'll just loop on its own. That was Command D. I could have also used, because here's the loop point, Alt R. Alt R brings up this repeat dialog. And I can just choose the number of repeats. Let's say I want to repeat it 6 times, and voila, I can repeat it like that. So I can do Command D to duplicate. I can do Alt R or Option R to repeat. But that's the basics of selecting a loop.